As we end the first month of the third quarter of the year 2022, we are forced to look back at the choices we have made, the crisis, the hurdles crossed, and those ahead yet to be crossed. We are also reminded of how much our lives have changed just in the past couple of months, especially this month. Inflation, economic crash, interest hike, food scarcity, oil scarcity, famine. Those were the keywords for the month. You couldn't open any news without hearing something about these things. We are at a crossroads. We are hoping for the best while preparing for the worst. So many things have changed in the past couple of weeks. We had to adjust our living conditions in order to fit into the crisis we are faced with. So many families lost their homes, some can't feed their families, and some are hoping that with each rising sun, there would be a new ray of hope. We will be going through the news as it happened and would like to hear your opinions and how you plan to ride this wave moving forward. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. First is the job market news. It was reported that the labor market was one of the most affected sectors, partly due to the COVID and then the inflation, as the unemployment rate hits an all-time low. Just last month, Canada shed 43,000 jobs as reported by Global News. Jobs in the services producing sector declined by 76,000, erasing gains made earlier in the year. The largest decline in employment was in retail trade. The report said data over the next few months may help answer whether the decline was due to consumer behaviors changing as inflation remains high. Many industries say the labor market is still seeing issues, with some job candidates appearing to ghost businesses, not only missing interviews but in some cases, not showing up for the job they were hired to do. Next is the food and production sector. This is no longer restricted to just Canada alone, but a global concern. The food sector has been hit hard globally, leading to high prices of goods and groceries. Consumer activities reduced as many families can no longer afford the same amount of shopping budget as they did before. Statistics Canada reported that the country's annual inflation rate rose to 8.1% in June, making it the largest yearly change since January 1983. Canadians also continue to see higher prices at the grocery store, with the cost of food up 8.8% compared with June last year, although that rate is unchanged from May. Both, however, are still higher than June's consumer inflation rate. The last, but ironically of major concern, is the energy sector. This is the major contributor to the global hike in the prices of goods and services. Coupled with the war between Russia and Ukraine, the global energy sector has experienced a shortage in availability of energy sources, leading to the hikes in its prices, which has also affected every other part of the economy, from the transportation sector to the food sector, as the means of transportations all need energy. Also, it has affected major factories who need those energy sources to function. By increasing the price of the energy sources, there is an increase in the products made by various factories and manufacturing industries, leading to an increase in the prices of those goods. Whether there is a plan to introduce other sources of energy or if the Russia-Ukraine war would be resolved soon remains vague and shows no promise to the already hiked prices of energy sources. We didn't forget the impact of all these on housing and estate. A July report by real estate market research firm Urbanation Incorporated found that rents in the Greater Toronto Area are rising fast, with dropping vacancy rates in the second quarter pushing up the average rent to $2,533, a 5.9% increase compared to the first quarter. Housing costs are rising in other cities too. The average rent for all Canadian properties was $1,885 in June, an increase of 9.5% annually, according to rentals.ca. Similarly, this inflation has also affected the way people spend, especially young adults, who now conform to trying to manage expenses as much as possible. As for easing discretionary spending, young adults are scaling back on outings to restaurants and bars, and not even bothering with concerts, noting how often they're getting canceled. Conversations between young people now are more like, instead of let's go here, it's more like, okay, let's go here and let's share something. Maybe I won't buy a second drink. Or, I might have friends over and we'll split Uber Eats or something like that. Just seems a little more conscientious. Everybody is affected and is trying to manage as much as possible. As we move into the second month of the second half of the year, we don't know what to expect, but we remain hopeful that there will be positive changes. To always stay up to date on news as they happen, turn on notifications and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button and let us know your concerns in the comment section. Thanks for watching.